nothing. It can be the greatest game in the world. If there are no people there to watch it, it becomes nothing.
Johnston. And a goal by Johnston. That makes it 2 by him.
We were magnificent. Magnificent.
Larson. Oh, he's in. Henrik Larsson. That is sensational. Nakamura.
The game is over. The Rebels have won.
He's done it! Jarman's put it in, and without a doubt, the European Cup is on its way.
We'll never stop. We'll stop at half time and we'll stop at the end of the game when we celebrate.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Jungle Junk podcast. Today is Tuesday, the 1st of February, and you know what that means. It's the end of fucking January!
Yes!
Yeah.
Go on yourself, Gav. Unfortunately, I am a dirty, greedy bastard, so I couldn't wait to the end of January. I think I got halfway through it and then said, fuck off, peace.
Oh.
Good on you, mate. Fair play to you. Fair play. Enjoy it. You deserve that one right, pal.
That tastes good. That tastes good. Right, that will set us up for tonight then. Okay, so to the viewers, thanks very much for joining us. Please hit that like button, please hit the subscribe button, and give us your comments to feed us through the remaining hour or so of this episode. Paddy, how you doing, mate?
Aye, good, mate. Just fucking absolutely buzzing for tomorrow night. Try to not get my hopes too high the now. Try to kind of keep on a level playing field until tomorrow when I get the drinks in me and then I start to give it yeehaw and fucking get into the zone. Yourself, mate, you looking forward to tomorrow?
Mate, I am looking forward to it. So this will be the first Celtic and Rangers game that I've been to since I was a teenager, when I last had a season ticket. So I'm really, really looking forward to it, of course. Obviously. The atmosphere, it's going to be brilliant. It'll be the first time I've been to a Celtic and Rangers game without really any proper away fans as such. So that'll be kind of strange seeing it live for the first time, but really looking forward to it.
Even my mucker there, Ronaldo, he's absolutely buzzing.
Brilliant.
Sure a lot of people on it.
Aye. A lot of kind of like nervous energy as well. A lot of nervous energy. I'm sure a lot of people will be the same.
But you saying, Dale, even your pair of scud books, aye. Same to you and all, mate. Fucking Crystal Maze.
By the way, Dale, I was watching one of your episodes like yesterday, just a random one, and you admitted that you in the Horseshoe Bar sometimes you do the karaoke. I found that quite interesting. What's your go-to tune? Let us know, mate.
It's going to be fucking Right Said Fred or something like
that. Well, you need to be too sexy for something. That's good. Right, to the viewers, again, thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about the transfer window and, of course, the Celtic and Rangers game, which is going to take place tomorrow night. So, Paddy, I think you had a wee announcement about the anniversary of a young Celtic fan who passed away.
Aye, mate, it was just to give a wee special mention. A lot of Celtic fans will know the name, some might know. Young boy Raymond Gormley for Blantyre. Basically, he was a young fella who went on a gap year. I think he ended up Thailand and ended up teaching at a school for kids with Down syndrome. So he ended up introduced it to Celtic. We kids started making videos, singing the songs that. So it ended up they turned into what everybody will probably know as the Thai Tims. So unfortunately, when Raymond came home, he was stabbed to death. So unfortunately, this is his 11th year anniversary today of his death. So just to give that boy a wee special mention, because some of the work that he did for a young fella was brilliant and obviously was very loved by a large group of people. So just a shout out to him and his family as well, mate. Well
said. Rest in peace. I think the Thai Tims is very, very well known with a lot of Celtic fans. I'm not too sure about the circumstances of the way that he died. Is known as well as the Thai Tims. So really, really shocking circumstances to leave this earth. But rest in peace, mate. Moving on to the transfer window. So
there's sorry, just before you jump in, there's fucking Dale. What's that? What a fucking singer, by the way. Aye, the masked singer.
Aye. It's the best way, man. Aye, a face for radio. Oh my God, pal. Aye, so the transfer window. No, normally we associate this with kind of like panic buys for Celtic at the end. We're staying up till when is it? 11 o'clock midnight, the last minute, the last second of the clock ticking by, and we're hoping that we pull a rabbit at the hat. But I think we did all our business. It's quite well known. We did our business at the very start of January. Like we got in the three Japanese boys on the 31st of December. We had them already lined up. So we've been very, very pragmatic. And I think that's because of the situation we were in at the start of the season. So Paddy, in your own words, how do you sum up this transfer window?
Very decent, as you say. We get 3 signings in on the one day, the day before the transfer window opened. So that was a massive plus, and obviously we saw the 3 guys make their debuts. Hatati's obviously stolen the show since he's come in. Maeda's played one or two games. He's looked very good, going his debut. Gucci unfortunately took a bad injury on his second game, I think, Gav. So we've not really seen much of him, unfortunately. But aye, the 3 guys look pretty promising. You'll say Hatati's been the star of the show so far, with Maeda being on international duty. But that was ideal to get them in. Then you had, I think it was Johnny Kenny came in, young fella for
Sligo,
yep. He's coming out the B team as a striker. We tried to sign, what's his name now? Riley McGree.
Aye.
Apparently, he received a phone call personally by Ange, and he decided to sign for Middlesbrough. So, fuck you, Mr. Riley McGree. But we missed out one Riley and got another O'Reilly. We got, what's his name?
Matt O'Reilly.
Matt O'Reilly. Aye, sorry. Matt O'Reilly, big boy for Fulham. He looks very, very good. But Swansea. Was it Swansea? MK Dons. Sorry. MK Dons. Fuck's sake, I know. A long day, mate. MK Dons, 1.5 million. Brilliant. So we missed out one signing, and straight away, I think it was literally the next day, we missed out McGree. Next day, 1.5 million for O'Reilly, and he's looked very, very good, by the way. Very totally. Technical.
See, whenever it was announced about O'Reilly, even whenever we heard about McGree, we're thinking, do we need another midfielder? Probably no, but aye, I know.
Maybe that's my problem, mate. I'm not pushed. I can't function right.
The thing with O'Reilly, whenever he came in, I was thinking, tell me if you agree or you disagree. I was thinking, don't know much about the guy. Like, it wasn't something that I was going to get excited about. Like, you go to YouTube and you watch what you can of the player, and you think, maybe one for the future. But my God, how wrong were we in terms of one for the future? He's one for right now. So going into the Rangers game, I know that we'll talk about that in the second half of tonight's episode, but going into the Rangers game, if we never had O'Reilly, if he hadn't impressed so far in a few games, in 2 games that he's already played for us, then we would be kind of up shit creek to an extent. We're really, really dependent on this guy. So all credit to Ange for identifying not only the right calibre of players, but people with the right mindset, people who want to play for the club. And of course, credit to the boy O'Reilly as well, who's taken to it like a duck to water. So massively dependent on him for the Rangers game. I don't know where we'd be without these astute signings. By the way, something about the Japanese boys. I was reading an article. It's about this company who manage the Celtic Japanese Twitter page. You know, obviously we've got our own kind of Twitter page, and then you've got the Japanese branch as well. Yep. And this company, we're talking about it, and they were saying that we've got more followers on the Japanese Twitter part of our page than what PSG do, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And he was talking about how if we get more exposure to the Japanese market, then we could be getting sponsors who are trying to line us up, such as Yokohama Tires and Rakuten, who they sponsor Barcelona.
Aye.
And he said, of course, that if it wasn't for COVID, then he would have fully expected Celtic to do like a pre-season tour in Japan. So that's something that, you know, on and off the park, we're benefiting from this growing relationship with the Japanese fan base. So that can only be good for us. Okay. So in comments, very happy with that. I think Johnny Kenny, going from the Irish League to playing for Celtic B team. Do you think that's going to hinder his development?
Not necessarily, mate, because I think the calibre of player that we've got now in the B teams is decent. And I think the calibre of games as well that they're getting is pretty decent. Do you know what I mean? They're coming up against senior players. It's not just wee daft 16 and 17-year-old boys. I don't mean that with any disrespect, but they're playing against guys that have played at a decent level and are now dropping down to like kind of junior levels. Not like some of the boys that we've seen for Gallagher, you know, some of the guys played for Hibs just about 7-8 years ago. So it's decent, and they're getting decent challenges, and he's going to be joining in with like Joey Dawson and wee Rocco Vata, guys like that, Lawal, you know. So it's a good thing. Like, as long as he's getting game time and getting coached right, and we're seeing this season, you know, that Andrew's not afraid to bring a young player into the squad, and he's certainly not afraid to put them into the first team. Look at the last game, for instance. The latest off the conveyor belt, young Doak. Previous to that, Moffat, Montgomery, you know. Great.
What I like, Paddy, is that I know I made the question, are we kind of stunting their growth by playing for the B team? But the one big benefit for these youngsters playing in the B teams, whenever they do get the chance to go into the first team, they already know the shape. They know what their job is on the park. So all it is just you're playing with like a younger group 1 week, and then you're playing with the senior pros the next week. But apart from that, nothing really changes. You know where you're meant to be in the park. You know what to anticipate. You know when to drop back, when to go forward, come inside. So there's that rhythm which will not change, which is a great benefit. And we've seen it from the likes of Ben Doak, who got some plaudits whenever he came on in the second half against Dundee United there, and whoever else who's stepped up to the fore this season. So really, really encouraging. What do you make of the outgoings this season? Or sorry, this transfer window. So we had a couple of people at Monty off to Aberdeen. What did you make of that one, mate?
I think that's actually a very good move for him, because I think he was going to Kilmarnock, wasn't he? Who are in the Championship. That fell through at the last minute. Unsure of the reasons why. But he's ended up at Aberdeen. So that's a good move. He's up there. He's going to be obviously playing at a higher level. He's training with a team of a better calibre. Scott Brown's up there, you know. The seasoned professionals up there, experienced leaders. So that's certainly a good move. Better than Kilmarnock anyway, under fucking Derek McInnes and I don't know, whatever other pile liquors down there.
And I agree with all the points you've raised. The other thing I would add to that is Aberdeen being one of the more better teams in our league. You would imagine that they will have the lion's share of possession in most games. So it's not like he's going to be a backs to the wall, defending for your lives type of performance week in, week out. So it's good to see that he should be able to flourish.
But this all depends, though, Gav, if Stephen Glass is actually first and foremost going to give him game time, which you would assume is kind of part and parcel of the agreement with Celtic. But it depends when he's going to play him. I mean, does he see Montgomery as a left back, a left mid, a kind of right forward cutting in? I don't know, because seriously,
Johnny Hayes at left back. Am I right?
Aye, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Stephen Glass might not see him as a left back. He might see him as a right winger cutting inside, a forward, a midfielder. I don't know, because to be perfectly honest, I couldn't tell you what his best position is. You know, he's obviously played for us at left back and left wing back, whatever. And he's done reasonably well at times, but towards the end of his appearances for Celtic so far, he was really, really poor. And you know, we don't really want to be too harsh on a young guy, so it's good that he's going to go away and hopefully get some better experience, take it all in, and come back a better player.
100%, fill out a wee bit as well, and that's natural at that age. Another one, Osaze Uragide. So he has went on loan to Ostend. That was the same team that Jack Henry signed for initially before he got the big move to Bruges. I wonder when the penny's going to drop for Bruges, but if Jack Henry has turned a corner in his career, then fair play to the boy. But Uragide is starting off on a similar pathway anyway, and I think one of the crucial things about that deal is that there's an option to buy. Don't know how much. So what's your thoughts on that? Because I think I've heard a lot. You know my thoughts on Urhoghide, but I think a lot of people said that they were mildly impressed with him against Real Betis. So what's your overall thoughts on the loan? Good for him, good for Celtic. And are you surprised with the option to buy clause?
Very surprised with that, Gav, because I thought like he was a player who was going to be used sparingly. As I say, like he's a guy who's versatile. He can play centre back, he can play right back. You know what I mean? So we're kind of short in positions, some might say. So it'd have been good for him to stick about. But the thing that surprised me most, mate, is that option to buy. Because that surely tells you that if they're sending the guy out loan and give Ostend, for fuck's sake, an option to buy, then they can't rate him. Unless it's an option to buy for like a fucking $1 billion or something. Do you know what I mean? But you're talking about just a rough guess, maybe like 2 million or something. But nah, I think as soon as a team loans you out and gives the other club an option to buy you, then your time's probably up and you're not really rated.
Yeah, I buy like the 2 million. I know that you just kind of picked that figure out, but I think that'd be wildly ambitious because his price tag, it can only be determined on what he's probably done back at Sheffield Wednesday. He's done hee-haw at Celtic. He's played like one game in Europe. So I would be surprised if it was north of 500 grand. But maybe I'm biased because I've already kind of like set my stall out quite early about Urhoghide. I know that whenever you see like one performance in an isolated match, it might be harsh to write a player off. But at the same time, look, if you flip it on its head, like whenever we saw Hatate in his debut, we were going off or not about that. We're saying, oh, look how good this guy is. So it kind of works both ways. You can write a player off in one game, but at the same time, you can go overboard on another player if he does well. So I get both sides of the coin. So anyway, Urhoghide off to Ostend, and as you said, does it imply that Ange doesn't rate him if we're happy to allow that clause to go ahead? Another boy, Hazard, the reserve goalkeeper, the reserve goalkeeper off to Helsinki. A bit out of left field, that one. Interesting going to Helsinki. Any surprises there?
No, really. And to be perfectly honest, not any fucks given. Obviously, that was Thingy's team, isn't it? The fucking Rotten Mob signed Morelos for them. So I'm just going to call them HJK Helsinki. But nah, listen, he's a big boy that needs game time, and whatever he needs to go and get it, that's absolutely fine. But he's never going to be a number one here.
Do you think that move to Helsinki will finish him off?
I'm not going to dignify that an answer, mate. That's as bad as one of mine.
And Liam Shaw, he went to Motherwell. I think that was like announced a couple of weeks back. That's just a loan until the end of the season. Yeah, mate.
By the way, on current kind of setup, the new he's maybe a player that would possibly have done as a turn. You know, if we didn't get O'Reilly. O'Reilly, sorry.
Oh.
But he's away at Motherwell. He's hopefully going to get some game time there. You know, Motherwell's a setup that, according to Shaw, he likes to get in and do the rough and tumble. He likes to tackle. He loves to get stuck in the midfield. So Motherwell's a team that are always kind of known for that. So hopefully that's somewhere that he's going to get some game time. And again, the perfect scenario is to go away while he's not playing, get game time, get back a better player. But it's good for the league, I know. Do you know what I mean? He's staying in the league, obviously, with Motherwell. But I'm just looking to see if he's playing tonight because they're playing St Mum at Paisley.
Aye, for me, it's very much a watch this space with Shaw. I've not seen enough of the guy. And I know that he played in the pre-season friendlies, a few of them. He played alongside Urhoghide against Real Betis at Parkhead. So I'm very, very curious to see what type of player this guy turns out to be.
What's happening, Kyle? There's Kyle Cutwood saying happening, lads. And Jamie Young buzzing for tomorrow, lads. Absolutely, mate.
Aye, mate. Aye. Nervous energy. I said that already. That's what I'm feeling. Right, okay. Shall we move on to the Rangers game then? Aye.
Oh, shall we? Shall we indeed?
Hold on a second. What's the guy's name? almost forgot the guy's name. That Welsh guy who signed for Rangers. Ramsey.
Fuck's sake, I forgot him. Do you know something, Gav? I don't know. You tell me, mate. Were you watching any of the transfer deadline yesterday?
No, not really. I think I was watching a movie.
You know, and this is going to be the first time I've never ever actually watched transfer deadline on transfer deadline window day. So I couldn't even tell you fucking that fanny Jim White was sitting there with his yellow tie on or what.
He's away from Sky Sports now.
Is he right? Because I just had visions of him in his Sky studio masturbating furiously and fucking
No, actually, it was Chris Boyd who was doing that.
Was it? Oh well, he'd have been like a monkey in a zoo then, just fucking bouncing off the ceiling, wanking and slaving and talking piss. And
it was cringeworthy, man. He was sitting next to Shea Given and then Clinton Morrison, both former Irish Republics. I was about
Republicans.
to say Republicans. Irish internationals. He tried at one point to do a fist bump with Shea Given, man. He wasn't having it. It looked cringeworthy, man. I don't know how the guy gets any airtime in Sky Sports for him to be the main representative of Scottish football. The guy's patter is crap. He's not a Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton has actually got a bit of patter about him. Chris Boyd is like as bad as my jokes, you know what I mean, on a bad day, that sort of thing. Aye, and Chris Boyd was creaming in his pants whenever he heard the one about Ramsey. So if the shoe is on the other foot and Ramsey signed for Celtic, would you be buzzing? Or are we unable to take our...
I'll take my glasses off, right? On paper, it's a tremendous signing. You know, they're getting a seasoned professional and Welsh international, played at a high standard, and basically on a pittance. If the rumours are to believe that he's owns something like 400 grand at Juventus and they're only paying 20 grand, which I don't know. I don't know what the script is, but they've got an option to buy as well. But
no,
again,
really?
Yes,
are you sure?
Apparently, aye.
I've no help that.
I might be wrong, but I'm sure I seen that yesterday. They've got an option to buy.
The comments come in. Let me know if I'm wrong or not. But I'm flabbergasted at that. Why would they want to make the move permanent? But sorry, mate, I interrupted you.
Fuck knows, but as I say, on paper, mate, it's a terrific signing. You know, experience, blah 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 blah. But in reality, is he still a good enough player? I think he's good enough to make a sizable difference to their team. But whether or no fucking Mr. Glass Ankles is going to be present enough to actually be able to make that difference. Like, technically, he's a player. He's still a good player. I've no doubts about that. But is his body able to stand up? I don't think he's played 2 games in a row for Juventus. I don't think he's played 90 minutes, and he's been there for 3 years. I was looking at all the injuries. Well, the list came up. Everybody's been forwarding it, WhatsApping it, whatever. Everything's all muscular injuries. Muscular. Up 10 injuries. So, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I'll tell you what, Gav. I'm no sitting here shite myself. Absolutely not. I kind of went, oh, that's a good signing for them, but I'm no fucking sitting here as if I've just saw Freddy Krueger coming out the shower. Do you know what I mean? That's
definitely not. But it could make a really big impact in the remaining half of the season, or he could get injured in his first game. We'll find out. But another thing, just to kind of fan the flames here, because I know that this will wind you up. Chris Boyd said on Sky Sports last night, he said that Ramsey coming to Scotland is the biggest signing since Gaza came to Scotland all those years ago in the 90s. Anyway, moving into it.
Well,
on paper, we've had some big names. We've had Roy Keane, Robbie Keane, Juninho. They were big names on paper.
Aye, on paper. Aye, Roy Keane, Champions League winner. Fucking serial league winner with Man United. Juninho, World Cup winner. Fuck up, Chris Boyd, you absolute ball bag.
Even fucking Ian Wright, on paper, he was still a name. You're scraping the barrel there. Aye.
Well, there's there's a couple of the guys piping in. Sorry, I didn't mean that piping in. They're providing info here. Ronaldo, it's just a loan deal, mate. We know it's a loan deal, buddy, but I think that they have got an option to buy. He says there's no options. Jamie Young says they have an option to buy 5.5 million, I think.
Really?
Well, I don't know. We'll check this out. We'll try and check it out while we're still on. Kyle Cutwood, my man. Why is he being allowed to leave for pennies and one English side want him, seemingly only Burnley in for him? I think I heard Southampton were interested in him, but listen, he's not been chased by any of the big clubs. He's not been chased by any decent club. He's been fucking whatever shady deals went on. He's been brought there, but I'm not going to give him too much airtime because I couldn't get a fuck, to be honest with you.
Aye.
Joe Hart, yes, Derek is a great signing. Joe Hart, absolutely. Won umpteen fucking Premiership titles with Man City. Every bit of domestic silver with Man City.
Right, okay, mate. So moving on to the Celtic and Rangers game. So as you know, I think that the word is the hoodoo. It's very, very strange days. Like considering what we've been treated to over the past 10 odd years, the dominance we've had in Scottish football. I think the last time we actually beat Rangers was it like March 2019 when we won 2-1. That was back in March. Strange day. So yeah, there is a bit of a hoodoo. So I guess we'll break it down. Obviously, we'll talk about like your anticipated lineup and things like that. But first off, your predictions. What do you think? Like your gut feeling. Your gut feeling.
My gut feeling's a win, Gav. I just think that we're in a really good place now. We're in good form, and I know we've got players out missing with injury or international duty, whatever. But I just think that we've got a right good spirit in the camp now, Gav. Right, but the thing that I think is going to sway it for us is we say that in the title. It's a hoodoo, right? There's a fucking King Kong sized monkey on our back. Is the fact that we've not beat them in over a year, right? You've had these crazy times with the COVID lockdowns. We've no played this team in front of fans at Celtic Park, and I think it's over 2 years. Over 2 years since the last time we had any fans in. We've already played them at their stadium. They never let any fans in. So I think, see tomorrow, Gav, that team that are visiting, I don't give a fuck who they put out, what their lineup is, who they wheel out, how many fucking lick spittles are given at Yeehan in the media, Chris Boyd, Alec Ray, whatever fucking peanut nut clown that just appears to fucking say that they're the best team in the world, this and that. See, as soon as they 11 come onto the park to face our boys, they're just going to be met with a C, a sound. The Green Brigade boys and any of the other boys like that will be absolutely fucking... The noise will be deafening, mate. The atmosphere will be absolutely electric, and it's going to make that other team shit themselves, and it will fucking make the hairs on their arms stand up, same as yours, and it will spur our boys onto a victory. Telling you, I can feel it in my piss water. And see if I'm wrong, I'll be pushed.
Aye. I'm just thinking about it here. I need to kind of articulate my thoughts, but who's going to be captain tomorrow? And that's basically two questions. So we know that Callum McGregor trained today. He might have even trained yesterday, but definitely trained today. So is Callum McGregor going to overcome the doubters and actually play tomorrow, do you think? If so, it might be a big face mask.
I'll tell you what we'll do, mate. Right, we'll predict the lineup without McGregor and Kyle go. Right,
that's what I thought about it. Worst case scenario.
Right, so
I'll start off then, mate.
Right, on you go.
So for me, the back five, no surprises. Obviously, Joe Hart, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Starfelt centre backs, and I've got Taylor left back, Josip Juranovic right back. Midfield, O'Reilly, Hatate, and yes, a square peg and a square receptacle would be McCarthy. Yeah, I've got McCarthy in there. And I've got Abada, Giakoumakis, and Jota. What's your initial reactions to that, mate? That's how I think we'll line up. That's how I expect us to line up. And it seems pragmatic.
Well, without being optimistic of getting certain players back and getting them in for being injured or whatever, that's a strong possible lineup. And out of that squad, Gav, I would probably say the captain would be Joe Hart. I don't particularly like goalkeepers being the captain, but I think he's vocal enough to make it work. He's the most experienced, highly experienced fucking, I say, Premiership, won umpteen domestic titles, played with England. Boo. But no, he's a definite captain in that. But I honestly think, Gav, I think there's going to be a wee surprise lined up, and I think it's going to be a double surprise. I think McGregor's going to be back, and I think Kyogo's going to be back.
Really, Kyogo.
Sorry, my apologies. A treble surprise. I think Maida will be back as well.
Okay, I agree with you about Maida. Maida, for me, will definitely be on the bench. I think McGregor will be on the bench. But Kyogo, you actually think that he'll be on the bench as well, yeah?
I think just something, just a wee feeling, mate. I think Andrew's playing his cards close to his chest. If he pulls at that ace, that'll be a cracker.
Well, as long as he doesn't pull a hamstring as well as soon as he comes onto the park. Right, okay. There was a bit of talk, but obviously McCarthy is the kind of the elephant in the room. If McGregor is not fit enough to start, there is that question: who plays the number 6 role? So you've got McCarthy, kind of an obvious choice, but not a popular choice. So one question: is he always ahead in the pecking order to Sorrow? Sorrow's more mobile, but he's a bit of a car crash. It's like he starts off every game with a yellow card. Does he have the discipline to do that role? I don't think so. Although, by the way, I don't think either of them are useless. Let's not think that we're dealing with two shite players. They can do a job, but just not at the same level as their peers in the midfield. So McCarthy definitely ahead of Sorrow in the pecking order. Would you agree with that point?
Oh, absolutely. Just before I continue on, mate, there's Derek Gray and Atomic Destructor 1. Absolutely, mate. I feel of me. Kyogo is out for 4 weeks and said it today. Thanks for the info, guys. Clearly, clearly I need to swat up before I come on and do these. But well, that's fair play then. Shut up, Paddy, you dick.
Okay. So you agree that McCarthy's ahead of Sorrow in the pecking order?
Yes, 100%.
Another alternative. The alternative would have been playing Ralston at right back and moving Josip Juranovic into the midfield. Now I do get that, but we're not playing against like St Mirren. We're playing against Rangers. We need to have a bit of bite in the midfield. And who would take responsibility to play the number 6 role if you had Josip Juranovic, O'Reilly, and Tatati? I don't know. That's why I think McCarthy's got a wee bit more discipline positionally. That's why he would slot into that role a wee bit better. Do you see any other combinations working in that midfield, or do you think if McGregor doesn't start, then it has to be McCarthy? Or could O'Reilly play that?
No.
I know that O'Reilly prefers to play forward.
No, listen, whatever happens, mate, you're going to need some experience in that midfield, am I right? Especially when you've got Hatate and O'Reilly possibly going to be playing. And I know they've played a couple of games. I know both of them have been kind of man of the match on their debut. But this is a different game. And you're going to need somebody that has played at a high level. And James McCarthy, I know he's not been everybody's cup of tea this season. I know he's not had a lot of game time this season. I've been critical as well. But I think tomorrow McCarthy's a stick on to start. And I think I wouldn't change that for anything. And I think tomorrow, you'll see James McCarthy turn up. I think you'll get a performance. Absolutely, mate. Yes, put your cape on, son. Come save us. No, listen, I don't know, mate. I just get a feeling that, he's not this fucking tired, washed up player that we all think he is. And he's going to bring a wealth of experience and technical ability. You saw it the last game as well that he came on. He was getting stuck in physically. So I think we're going to need that tomorrow, especially when you've got their kind of midfield free on nipping about to think they can do what they want on a big pitch. We're going to need to stop that. I tell you what, mate, I think I might actually play him or not, even if McGregor starts to. I would push McGregor up a wee bit on.
Interesting.
And let Hatate go and do his thing.
I think McCarthy, all he needs to do is keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. That's what he does, and protect your teammates. The other thing you've got is like Arif. Sorry, somebody's phoning me. You've got Aribo, who he'll be playing, and we need to give protection to whoever comes up against him. I think that'll be Josip Juranovic. So moving into attack, Jota, for me, he's always going to be the first name on the team sheet whenever he's fit. So Jota, left flank, I've got Abada, right flank, and Giakoumakis up the middle. Do you agree with that?
That's probably the lineup that I would go with, but there's also a wee curveball there that you could possibly put in. You could probably go with Jota left, Forrest right, and Abada through the centre.
Yeah, that gives us the kind of mobility in terms of pressing people. Abada doesn't shame himself up through the middle. Abada is a no bad finisher. Obviously, his confidence is going to be high. He got that goal there, the last kick of the game against Dundee United. Yeah, that is an alternative. Forrest right wing though.
I don't want that alternative. Just to be clear there, Gav, I don't think Forrest has done anything recently to suggest that he's good enough to start. Obviously, came on in the semi-final in the cup and scored the winning goal, which shows that he's still got quality and he can turn up when needs be. But I think we need to go with the most mobile and fast front line that we can, because you know it's going to be like with the Rotten Mob's defence, right? Tavernier's going to be bombing forward, so whoever's on the left-hand side of the defence is going to need to seriously either smash him or fucking just stick to him like glue, right? Because he's a dangerous bastard. Who have you got on the left-hand side for them? Barisic. Fullbacks, mate, fullbacks. But Barisic has got a wicked left foot on him. Great delivery, great technical ability, but he's slow as fuck, right? So when Tavernier's pushing up, out of position, get Jota fucking attacking that open space. When Barisic pushes up, he's not fast enough to cope with Abada's pace. Right, Abada on the right-hand side, Jota on the left is ideal. Probably Giakoumakis is the best option for the centre, right? Because you're going to have Goldson and Bassey will probably be your centre backs, or maybe what's his name? Balogun. Now, three decently sized big guys, strong. So obviously two of them's got to play. Sorry, but I think he would benefit more for Giakoumakis jumping in there. He's a physical guy. He's a bit of a bully. He can shirk it up, get him in there, even try and disrupt him, and then whoever's playing at the tip of the midfield three, they need to be forward. They need to be supporting, because this guy he's not going to be able to beat 2 and 3 men through the centre. It's a pet hate of mine when we play a sole striker and the midfield doesn't get forward enough to support them. And I know you're getting support for the sides, but it's when you're not getting any support from behind you with your number 10, whoever's in that role. So hopefully either Hatate or O'Reilly is going to have the sense to get forward at every time and try and support them. Whoever it is, be it Abada, Giakoumakis.
Sticking with the attack, obviously you've got Giakoumakis. We think Giakoumakis will start. I'm thinking, on one hand, does it play into the hands of Rangers? Because they might relish that physical battle against Giakoumakis. Whereas with Abada, a wee nippy player, he can go either side or through the middle. Would that be something that would make them uncomfortable? Would that disrupt their rhythm at the back? So I'm thinking about that. But in general, is there a concern that we are not clinical enough up front? So going back to like the Alloa game, we won 2-1. Then we had Hearts, that was 2-1 as well. And then Dundee United, that was 1-0. Obviously, we've got injuries, so we're not blaming the full squad right now, but it is what it is. And with the situation we're under right now, with a skeleton staff, yeah, you can say that we're only winning games by like a 1-goal margin. So going into the game tomorrow night, is that a concern for you?
It's always a concern, mate, when you're in games and you struggle to score. But you look at the way that we've been winning, Gav. We're still pressing even towards the very end of the matches. We might not be obliterating teams like 4, 5, 6-0, but we're still getting the most important thing that matters, mate. It's the 3 points. But I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think Giakoumakis been a wee bit hot and cold in recent weeks because he's played 2 games. Played 3 games, sorry. He's been decent in the first 2, and then he was pretty poor the last game. Never scored. So that's another reason why people would maybe say start up front with Abada. You know what I mean? Yeah. But do you need Abada on the right-hand side with his pace and direct? I probably would.
Well, it'll keep Barisic being honest. If he's got a wee pacey player attacking that space all the time, then it should stop him from coming up and getting in the crosses. Another thing I've noticed is that, see in the past, like in the last kind of like final 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I know that in Dundee United, that game, we kept on going at them hell for leather up until the final kick of the ball. But maybe in the Alba game, we might have dropped off a little bit. And in the Hearts game, I certainly noticed that with the Hearts game as well. I don't know if it was tiredness or whatever, or just the atmosphere of an away ground. And already those were tough, challenging, grueling games anyway. Do you think that the adrenaline will carry the players through until the 90 minutes, or can you see any moments where we might potentially slack off in the second half?
Oh, there's always moments where, let's be honest, that mob can be dangerous, right? I'm hoping they play McGregor tomorrow, right? Because he's a fucking absolute dumpling now. But then he's always prone to fucking pulling off a good save here and there. See, the fullbacks are always going forward, mate. Always. Barisic has get a terribly dangerous corner delivery. You've got Goldson and Bassey, guys like that can score for corners. So that's a dangerous stop. Middle of the park, that's probably where they're most dangerous, isn't it? But then they can be got at. If your midfield can go and get into their faces and don't give them a lot of time to spread the ball about, then they can be put under pressure, right? It could be the same again for us and all. See if we dilly-dally on the ball, they can put us under pressure. Simple passes, make them fucking count and make them quick tomorrow for us, right? No stupid fancy fucking trying to pass it about the back, trying to play pinball between 2 centre-backs.
They're going to play Angeball. There's going to be no surprise.
I know, mate, but see this constant back and forward. You watch it all the time, right? I know it allows attacks to start for your defence, but you watch it, see when Starfield, back to Vickers, back to Starfield, back to this, As soon as they're doing that, the striker just keeps moving forward until they start to come on and put pressure on the player. And then it gets put back to Joe Hart, and Joe Hart's under pressure already. He's having to kick the ball. You know what I mean? So hopefully they don't do that. As I say, make it count, make it quick, the passes.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye on that, Kent. Smash him, break his legs, do whatever you've got to do. A joke, of course. Maybe just
you're talking about us kind of fanning about at the back whenever the attackers are pressing you. What I noticed that the game against Hearts, for the first 10, 15 minutes, they set up very, very well, and they were making us make mistakes at the back, of course. But once we managed to break through their press, it's like they kind of wilted. I'm talking especially about the first half. Second half was a different kettle of fish. But once we broke their press in the first half, that 10, 15 minutes was forgotten about, and we just kept on going through them like a knife through butter. And if we get it right tomorrow night, then that could possibly be the case. Obviously, Rangers have just got more dangerous players than what Hearts have got. It's a higher calibre, but we're going to stick with the same philosophy. I'm just thinking that if we get it right, then we might get it really, really right. Another kind of...
I think, Gav, if we score first, mate, that puts them under massive pressure. But I think that they will absolutely shit themselves, because anytime I've watched them, they have 2 periods in the entire game, which is the first 10 minutes and the first 10 minutes of the second half, where they come out and they just try and be as direct as possible and they try and get the early goals in. And you're talking about doing the wins like Kent. Dangerous guy at times, not all the time, but he is a dangerous guy. He'll usually play on the left and he'll cut inside. So Juranovic is going to have to be smart, sharp, and watch him for turning inside. I don't know who's going to play the other side. Probably that, what do you call him, the new guy? Diallo.
Yeah. The guy on loan from Man U.
The guy worth $100 million Dumbelly dollars, whatever they want to fucking say. I don't know too much about him, but I'm just assuming that he's going to be a wee flamboyant guy trying to cut into his left-hand side. So hopefully, I know this is going to sound fucking absolutely deluded, but hopefully Taylor marks him at the game.
Maybe he'll put in a strong challenge and the guy won't have an appetite for it after that. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Right, there's no getting away for this one. A lot of these games against Rangers have been decided over the past 2 odd years, have been decided by set pieces. How are we going to stand up to it tomorrow night? Because their delivery is not bad. You've got, very good. In fact, you've got Barisic, you've got Tavernier, who can float them in from the left or from the right. And you've got people like Connor Goldson. I know that Helander, he got the goal against us in the last game. It was 1 each, and that was a set piece. He's not going to be playing tomorrow night. I think he's out injured or something like that. But they've got other people who are just as efficient ahead of the
You'll probably be looking at that guy up forward and on it. I think he's quite tall on that. But what we need to do, Gav, is we need to not make the mistakes of the last few games against them. We need to get a guy on each post, because a couple of times that they've scored against us for set pieces, it's because we've not had a guy in the post. So fucking Juranovic and Taylor on the back post, do not move off them, you pair of pricks, at every fucking corner. Stay there. Vickers and Starfelt, they're going to need to man mark as far as I'm concerned. Stick with Goldson, stick with Bassey.
Hart's going to have to be much more assertive and deciding if he can come out for a cross. He needs to claim it and take out everybody on the way doing it.
Aye, listen, as great as Hart's been this season, great leadership, experience, performances as well, he still doesn't dominate enough. He doesn't dominate enough for me, especially like crosses, corners. At times, there's been a few moments where personally I think he's caused the goal by not coming out and commanding his area. But that's all we can do, mate. We just need to defend very, very smartly, hardly as well. I mean, tomorrow, fucking Bobby Madden's the referee, so I don't know how that's going to go. I think he'll probably be whistle happy. Are they going to get another obligatory penalty? Are we going to be playing penalty bingo tomorrow? I don't know. Probably, because as we know, they fucking get a penalty nearly every game. But we just need to go and obliterate them, Gav. We need to go. Somebody said that I'm going to go through the comments in a wee second, guys. Don't think I'm ignoring these. There'll be a tornado moment. Where is there, Kevin? We're going to hit them like a tornado the first 10. That's exactly what we need to do, Kev, because they're going to try and do the exact same to us. The bonus is that Ramsey can't play tomorrow. He's unavailable. Hadji's out for the rest of the season. We triangle Heed Morelos. He's in Colombia. Can't get a game, but he's still away on international duty. Get up here. I don't know about any of the rest of our players, but if we play their strengths, Gav, tomorrow, we'll win it.
And you were talking about the referee there, so that kind of brings me on to the next point. The game against Alloa, there was a lot of crunching tackles going in against Celtic. We were not getting the required level of protection from the referee. And then the Hearts game, there was some challenges which the referee barely raised an eyebrow at, but you could actually argue for red card offences for that. So I don't think we'll be getting the protection that we need in those games. And sure as hell, Rangers ain't no snowflakes in terms of putting in a hard challenge. So do you think that tomorrow night could be another game of tough tackling? Do you think the referee's going to have to really be on his game? What I can just finish off with that one. And saying that, historically over the past 2 odd years, the Celtic and Rangers games are not as aggressive as what they used to be. I don't know if that's a change of the times. I don't know, but they're not as tasty as what they used to be in terms of the hard flying challenges. But what's your thoughts on that one?
I think that's probably just the kind of attitude of football now, isn't it? The tough tackling and fucking Barry Robson-esque kind of tackles. They're all kind of out the window because of, rules and regulations and fucking this and that. But what I expect the more I Gav is the usual what you would expect for them. I expect cheating and more cheating, diving about, feigning injury, fucking elbows everywhere. But listen, again, that's down to us to counteract that. Bobby Madden, we all know who he is, what he is. Some might speculate otherwise, but he could possibly be a danger. He could be the 12th man for Sevco. We just need to go as a counteract that, beat them, beat the referee, fuck them. I'm just going to double back onto some of the comments, Gav. Just look at the time there, buddy. There's Kenny. Kenny, my man, how you doing? Ramsey not playing for the Huns, been confirmed earlier. Scott Howe. Hope Hibs beat the Dietions tonight. Absolutely.
Oh, aye. Quarter
two, mate. Aye, yep. Scott Howe. Sevco defence is there for the taking. Fly out the traps, punish this mob, and as we trust whoever plays. Hail, hail. Absolutely.
It's worth pointing out they did ship 3 goals in the last game.
Aye. But that's what I'm saying. Do they have a bit of luck tomorrow, which they sometimes do with goalkeepers? Is McGregor going to play the last great game of his life, or is McLaughlin going to come in? It's hard to tell. But as I say, whoever they put in the lineup, Gav, we need to go and beat them. Mate. We need to get this monkey off our back. There's Ronaldo again. Can't see us dropping points. They've been terrible against most teams this season. Their defence is a shambles, and Jota will destroy Tavernier. I love that optimism, mate.
Reassuring. I think I need more of those comments to G me up, man. So keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Need to be careful with this one. Would be funny if Diallo got recalled because of Greenwood.
Oh yeah. But for a second, I was thinking, are you going somewhere else with that? But just because Greenwood is out, they've got a void there. I was wondering, he would have been called in with the Polish because him and Greenwood are pals or something. They've been.
All right. Just watch yourself, mate. Don't want done for the old slander, like.
Certainly not.
Here's a good comment. Dermot Celtic Rabito. Ange will have them ready for battle. His team talks are said to be brilliant. I absolutely hope you're right, mate. I think. Well, I'm more hoping actually. I'm more hoping that the last game at Ibrox, we're going to use that to spur us on because it was early in the season. We were during the start of a rebuild, and we took the game to them, Gav, at their own patch, and they got a goal against the break. We fluffed a couple of chances. We should have won that game about 2 or 3-1 at the start of the season. You know what I mean? When we were infancy as a team, and they were a seasoned outfit with Gerrard as a manager. So I think possibly Postecoglou will use that. He'll take that. He'll have learned from that, and the more he's going to fucking fly the team up. As I say, with the atmosphere, the noise, the lack of mutants in the stadium. It's just it's about the right time, the right venue, and the right place for us to get this win.
Aye, one thing I will say in terms of the team talks. So first and foremost, see if we have a really good first half in terms of possession and attacking. We need to take our chances because see if we go in to half time and it's nothing each, you can bet your bottom dollar that they'll come out flying at the traps in the second half. If they're saying, well, that's the best that they can do, and if we've still not converted, I've still not got a goal to our name. And at that point, the team talk needs to be spot on because everyone still needs to be on the same page, same level of intensity. We cannot slack off after. Like you were talking about it in the open 10 minutes of the second half, that's something that they're quite effective at, and upping the tempo. So we can't be caught cold in that. We need to be on our game. So the team talk needs to be spot on. Where do you think that the game will be won or lost for Celtic? Where do you think, looking at the lineup, where do you think we're strongest at right now?
Well, we're strongest at them.
Us, yes. And where do you think the game will be won or lost? Well, we'll still get the best defense and the best defensive record in the league. That's worth pointing out. I think we're strongest in defence, although it kind of seems weird to actually say that.
I know. Usually everybody says that the game's won in the middle, which is a fair point. You dictate the middle of the park, then you dictate the game, essentially. But they're most dangerous coming down the sides and coming in from the sides. So as long as your defenders can kind of cope with that and fucking don't put up any shit, don't put up with that Kent try to fucking turn you inside, outside, and then go back into the middle again, drive forward. Diallo, as I say, I have no idea who he's going to play. I've never seen him before. I don't care, to be honest. Jota's probably going to be. We need a massive performance out of him tomorrow. If he can do his thing, mate, Jota on the wing doing his thing, he can be dangerous. Get him fucking turning inside, taking Tavernier, putting him in his arse by skinning him, and taking fucking shots at goal. Same in all with Abada. Get yourself doing that wing, son. If Giakoumakis is playing through the centre, get the balls driven into him. Get tight to him. Drive forward to him. Try the wee passing. Let him roll the defenders. Let him do all the fucking dirty work, and make sure somebody's running through for that middle. So I think the game will be won on the flanks tomorrow, Gav. To answer your question.
I think that's a fair comment. Yeah. Hopefully, with our press, we can nullify their fullbacks coming forward. I know that Aribo has been having a good season. He did okay for Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations.
somebody commented on him earlier. I need to get this man up. I've never heard him being called this, but it's an absolute belter. Scott Howe called him Haribo.
Was a danger. Aye, we're talking about him being the next 20 million man. I've not really yet seen it. Like I keep my eye on Rangers, but I don't religiously watch their highlights every week. So I think he's going to be their danger man, and obviously we've been warned about Kent. We know what Kent can do. I just don't want to see like I've got flashbacks of like Kent running past Scott Brown, so hopefully that's not going to be McCarthy who he's going to be running past tomorrow night. But look, the atmosphere is going to be electric. I think there's going to be something different about it because it's not just going to be a Saturday or a Sunday, it's a midweek game. It's going to be something electric to it.
I'll tell you it's going to be different tomorrow as well, Gav. I'm sure somebody might correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think I'm up. I think this will be the first time that we've played them at Celtic Park underneath the disco lights.
Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
So hopefully that can just be another wee element of fucking antagonising them, you know what I mean? Just using that as an element of surprise, like the new players coming out and fucking, what's this? And then the noise is going to be deafening. I don't care what anybody says, the noise tomorrow is going to be one of the best you've ever heard in your life. And I'm glad you're going, mate. I'm glad you're going to experience that. I want you to take loads of photos and videos.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. I'm just trying to imagine, though, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst post-match comments, saying, it's been a lot of Celtic with a better team, and of course the disco lights, we wilted under that.
Listen, as long as he brings his wee stool to stand up on, and then just starts greeting or something, I don't care.
Right. Okay. So we've done the starting 11. We've done. Are we expecting a curveball? Which your curveball was fucking extraordinary.
Listen, you can tell I was busy all day today. You know what I mean? No sitting on my fucking phone reading news.
We expect Park to be the captain if McGregor doesn't start. We'll focus on where we're strongest at.
Sorry, mate. You're Derek Gray. Fuck it. Anytime they get the ball, just switch the fucking lights off. Aye. That's a good shout, mate.
Aye. Just have to fucking scalp them. Right. One of the last questions I've got for you, because I'm running out of questions, but mentality, where are we at now compared to the first game that we played them. And by the way, I just want to kind of throw this in. I hope Ange gets his tactics spot on. I know that Kyogo's not going to be playing tonight, but he did something wrong, fundamentally wrong. He played Kyogo. He tried to do something different. All managers are entitled to do that, but he tried to play Kyogo as a left forward rather than knowing how effective he is up through the centre. And it shouldn't have taken until that game for him to realise it. He should have already realised it from his time in Japan. So I'm hoping that Ange doesn't try to be too clever tomorrow night. I hope that he's kind of learned from that. But mentality, where are we at as a team? Are you trying to stifle a wee laugh here? Are you some funny comments?
Aye, sorry, mate, just reading.
From the
Scott again. Turn the lights off, penalty to Sevco. Aye. Bobby Madden overhead kick.
Mentality, where are we at?
There's the bold Kenny answering this question as well here, Gav. Bring it up because it's pretty much what I was going to say. Kenny boy, we are a totally different mindset from the game at Ibrox. I believe that, I know, mate, because I think what had happened is when we went to Ibrox, Ange was fresh out the wrapper, Celtic manager, new team, and it was just a case of fucking go and play with this philosophy, gung ho, and we tried it, and we kind of saw sometimes where you're coming up against a team that can break on you, and that happens. So you got the park, you attack them, you get yourself into positions where you need to be clinical. We didn't do it, and then they get the break of the ball and score one goal later on. But
Eddie,
well, there you are, Eddie. That's just what I was going to answer back. So obviously, Kyogo, as you said, was played on the left-hand side to accommodate Eddie, which on paper some might agree with. But at that time, Eddie was, I think his head was in another place, clearly, because he ended up at Crystal Palace, I think.
He had 1 foot.
Aye, ended up at Crystal Palace fairly soon after. But no, listen, Kyogo, for the most part, his time at Celtic has been a clinical forward player. I just don't think he's a striker. Still don't. And Postecoglou originally signed him to come in and play left wing. He did say that. He says he's probably more a left winger, but out of necessity, we played him up front, and he did his thing, and he's proved that. You know, so it's one of the things. But listen, definitely the mentality is so much different because we are the smaller squad, the number 2 squad. We've kept up them. We've kept up with us with the team that's top. Well, 3 points away from being top of the league at this stage. You know what I mean? We're definitely getting stronger. The playing field's definitely levelling out. Last season was just a total fucking anomaly. Not just for us, not just for this country, for other teams around the league. Fucking, I think every other team that was dead on to win lost. You know, fucking Juventus, PSG, teams like that. So last season out the window. This season totally different.
And win, lose or draw tomorrow, how will that affect us moving forward? So if we win, you see, you're going to be playing Sailing, and that's Rangers who are playing catch-up. That'll be the first time they've had to play catch-up in a long, long time. If we lose, how do you think we'll rebound from that? What's your thoughts on how we recover, how we kind of move into the month of February, regardless of the result?
If we want to win this league, Gab, we've got to win the 2 games at Celtic Park. I don't care what anybody says this. We've got to win the games, because when we go to Ibrox again, it's going to be the same for us. There's probably not going to be any fans there. All the momentum is going to be with them. We need to win. We need to win them all if we want to win this league. I know mathematically, like, it can be done without it, but realistically, you need to win at least 2 games and then hope that there's other results otherwhere. You know what I mean? Because they've already took the first blood this season at Ibrox. We need to counteract that. We're getting, as I say, it's not just a win tomorrow. It's a fucking hoodoo. It's a monkey off the back, King Kong sized. No beating them in over a year. Shocking. Lost the league to them in terrible fucking circumstances last year. Shocking. We need to put them in their place, mate. We need to show them that we can win, and we need to show ourselves that we can win. Get it done tomorrow. And then, as I say, we need to win the league. We need to win at least 2 games out of the 4, at least.
Aye, mate. Aye. A must win. in your eyes. I'm kind of almost in agreement with you. Obviously, mathematically, it's nowhere like that. But in terms of the psychology behind this win, yeah.
Aye, 100%.
Right. Okay. So predictions for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a
God.
big game.
That's the horrible part of it.
You almost got it right the last time. So that was the Hearts game. You went for a.
Aye, I was only about 4 goals off or something, wasn't
Right. Hearts and wisdom to our viewers. What do you think it's going to be?
Right, I'm going to go 3-1 Celtic.
3-1. 3-1. I was thinking that in my head, maybe 2-1.
Oh, there we go. There's Scott out 3-1 to Celtic. Hopefully that's an omen. Kevin, 14, cup final tomorrow. Aye, that's exactly what it's like tomorrow, mate, as a cup final. That's
I expect Ange to talk to the players in that kind of tone, treat it as a cup final.
Derek, Head says 2-1, Hart says 4-0. Kevin, 2-0, maybe 4-1. Love the optimism as well. Kyle Rattigan, I think 4-1. I think that's a wee bit optimistic, mate, but I'd love to be spanking them tomorrow. But I think tomorrow, clearly the most important thing is the win. But it's about how we do it tomorrow as well. As I say, we've got a chance to fucking be aggressive tomorrow without being overly aggressive. Do you know what I mean? We can bring everything to the table tomorrow because everything's on our side. There's none of the supporters. This is the first game in over 2 years. First chance to beat them in over a year. Chance to go top of the league. It's a chance to fucking set a massive marker down. And we need to do it, Gav. We really need to do it and get pumped up again. Oh, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Right. For my prediction, I'm quite tempted to go for the 3-1. Can I see Rangers actually scoring a goal? I think I can, but I'm going to go 2-0 to Celtic. 2-0 to Celtic. Last week question for you, Paddy. By the way, for the viewers, thank you so much for all your comments tonight. It's been brilliant. Who are the main players tomorrow? The people who are really going to stand up in that cauldron. I think obviously Jota. I think Jota's got the mentality and he's got the skill. Do you think Abada is going to crumble, or do you think Abada is going to rise?
I'll start for the back, Gav. Joe Hart needs to do what we've spoken about. He needs to be more dominant, but with everything that he brings, all that experience, all that passion, he's going to be massive at the back because not only is he going to be tending to the goals, he's going to be organising the defence, he's going to be G'ing the guys up, he's going to be shouting instructions, so he's going to be massive. Starfelt and Vickers need to be like that tomorrow night. Starfelt, I'm hoping, is going to fucking shut everybody up, shut me up, shut fucking everybody, slag them up. Even if it's rightfully, just shut us up for one night and say, this is fucking one of the best performances you'll ever see from me. And I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that for Starfelt. I really am, and I don't know why. Jota needs to produce the magic tomorrow night. And I know it's harsh putting everything on his shoulders like that, but we need to. There's no getting about it, mate. Abada, again, we've discussed it. We need to win the flanks. Hatate could be a shouter on, mate. Hatate's either going to crumble or fucking rise to the occasion, you know. But the good thing is, mate, that him, Hatate and O'Reilly played that last game against Hearts because they got to see how like the anti-side of atmosphere can affect your game because he said he better less said that he was shite himself when he heard it. So how that's going to be when he comes to Celtic Park with all that atmosphere. The players need to soak all that up. So surely if he's putting in a performance that good against Hearts under pressure, what's it going to be like when fucking they're getting all that enthusiasm for the crowd? I think the likes of Hatate and O'Reilly, they might actually enjoy themselves tomorrow night. They might have one of their games. Hatate especially. Sorry, Gav. Kevin, I missed this question earlier on, pal. Do apologise. Is Gucci fit for tomorrow? I don't think so. I've not even heard a whisper about Gucci.
by the fact that Ange didn't even have to respond to any questions about Gucci, I take it by that he's not going to be fit for tomorrow. No.
Yeah. And there's Scott Howe again. Hatate will rise tomorrow. I tell you what, if fucking Celtic rise to a win, I'll be rising in my pants as well. Pitching a tent.
I can see you doing that probably, yeah. So we're going to do a podcast on the Thursday night, I take it, to do a post-match review. I think whenever you come home after the game, it'll be about 10:30 for me whenever I get home, so it might be a wee bit too late for the viewers, I don't know.
I'm not going to lie, I'm not being in any fit state tomorrow anyway.
Where are you watching the game anyway? Have you decided?
No yet, mate. Down the Gallagate, probably somewhere. But I'll be pushed fucking either way.
You going to make work on Thursday?
You mad? No chance. No chance.
I can see a few sick calls being placed into the workplace on Thursday morning. And if it happens, if we win, man, I might have to do the same. Right, Paddy, I guess we'll finish up. So you're predicting a 3-1 win. I'm going for a boring 2-0.
I don't care how boring it is, as long as we win. 3 points, mate. That's just all I want. It's all I need. It's all we need.
Right, okay. I think that's your fans phoning you. Right, we'll wrap it up, mate. Thanks very much for jumping on, and again to the viewers, thank you so much for your comments tonight. That's kind of the lifeblood of the podcast. So,
yeah, brilliant. There's Kenny. Make it Thursday, please, as I don't get home till late. There you are. That's it. Decided. No
worries. Thursday night it will be. Aye. So, God, I hope whenever we talk again, we're going to have big smiles on our faces.
Aye, absolutely. Oh, fuck. Oh, come on. But listen, just to reiterate, mate, what you said earlier on, thanks to everybody that's watching, all the comments as well. There's a few guys comment tonight who haven't done so. If you haven't already, guys, just give a wee like on the Facebook page, a wee subscribe as well, because that subscribe does us a lot of favours, you know. We put in a lot of hard work to put content out. It's only for as a hobby, but the more and more we're getting on now, we're getting a good following of guys, great commenters, great posters, guys that are fucking stick with us for over an hour and watch us talking shite. So as long as you guys are doing that, we'll continue to do it for you as well. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Hail, and guys, wherever you're watching the game tomorrow night, man, I hope it's a fucking good one.
Absolutely. So we'll see you on Thursday. Hopefully with some good crack and in a good mood.
Right. Hail, good night, guys.
Hail, Trips.